That's myfavoritedj.com. Welcome to the home of my favorite DJ, DJ Jules, baby. If you're looking for a DJ for any type of event, call us now, 313-595-8845. Once again, that's 313-595-8845. www.that'smyfavoritedj.com. The perfect DJ for any of your events. Sweet 16, 21, 30, 50. You turn to 75 years of age, DJ Jules, baby, is the perfect DJ for you. Weddings, corporate events, call 313-595-8845. That's myfavoritedj.com.
The combined power of a group when working together is greater than the total power achieved when working alone.
That's synergy.
Synergy works. Synergy. From the Greek word synergos, equals working together. Synergy works. Synergy is different people working out together advantageously for one final outcome, one goal, rewarding results. Synergy works. Don't train by yourself. Train with synergy. Why? Because synergy works. Contact us today to set up your fitness assessment. Synergy works.
TNT Cakes, Creations, and More, where we specialize in red velvet and strawberry cheesecake, chocolate-covered strawberries, custom baby boxes, custom signs, custom tees and sweatshirts, custom sports balls, graduation accessories, custom glasses and tumblers, custom license plates, heat transfers, custom office signs. TNT Cakes, Creations, and More. Give us a call.
Are you an indie podcast or content creator looking to reach a wider audience? Look no further. Introducing Podcastic, the ultimate podcast network designed exclusively for indie creators like you. At Podcastic, we believe in the power of unique voices and fresh perspectives. We're here to amplify your passion and creativity, connecting you with a growing community of engaged listeners who crave original content. Podcastic is more than just a platform. It's a support system built for indie podcasters, offering a range of resources to help you succeed. From tailored promotional campaigns to professional production assistance, we're here to help you shine. Our intuitive platform makes it easy for you to be seen and heard. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You just show up and create. Plus, with our advanced analytics, you'll gain valuable insights into your audience's preferences, allowing you to refine your content and grow your fan base. Ignite your passion, expand your reach, and thrive with podcasting. Visit our website at www.podcasticlife.com to get started. Podcastic, the home for indie podcasts and content creators.
The content you're about to hear is a part of a paid programming segment. The views, opinions, and statements expressed belong solely to the sponsor and do not reflect those of Podcastic or its host. This segment is for informational and promotional purposes only and should not be considered as advice or endorsement. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah. 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 Big flex on the set, you know we gotta rep. Heavy talk on that mic, all we do is press. John Q, that's coach, got him upset. Jim Animal, Muscle Gang, we up next. Big Flex Podcast live on Monday night with John Q, Latoya Deshawn, and Don Snipes. You can catch Snipes on the pod or the big screen or get tea time with Toya if you want the tea. Talk about the strong end on your weekday. Tap in with Muscle Gang, you never have a weekday. Big Flex Podcast, 9 p.m. Monday. Pull us up on YouTube if you want that replay. Big Flex Podcast, 9 p.m. Monday. Pull us up on YouTube if you want that replay. It's the Big Flex Podcast, Mondays, 9 at night. It's the Big Flex Podcast. Come on.
What What up? Welcome back to the GAMG, the Big Flex Strong Cast for episode 110. Ooh, yeah. It's Randy Macho Man, Dank Man, Savage in this motherfucker. Yeah, welcome back, y'all. You know what time it is. It's the GAMG, the Big Flex Strongcast Hour. I am your host, John Q, and it's BIH. And of course, we have... Yeah, I know, my bad. Hey, look.
We was just kidding. We was just playing.
Yeah, you was just playing. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's just me right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm Q-Dank / John Q Savage up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So,
we can start with you, bro. How was your strong end?
Oh, man, my strong end? I ain't do too much of shit, but my normal cut some grass, went out to eat, cleaned up my crib. What else did I do?
You cut your grass every week?
Hell yeah, lately and shit, damn grass and shit been growing like crazy with all this rain and humidity. Shit, it looked like it didn't grew another damn inch since yesterday.
You as an elder for sure.
I mean, shit, I'm the only one who gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I don't have no YNs out there that's trying to cut my grass. These little lazy bastards.
Crazy work, bro.
The YNs ain't cutting grass no more.
Crazy work.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? So
YNs out here cutting grass. Real talk.
No,
it's just not a plethora. Of them, but
it's
they
not
out
the block like it used to be when we was growing up.
Yeah.
But they out here, trust me.
So as y'all hear, you know what I'm saying, we do have the hosts over here. You know, we do have say Latoya Deshawn, and of course say Don Snipes in the building. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want to put his ass on camera again, like he always eating and shit. So you know, that's what we were trying to do, cover it on up. But look. We want y'all to call in today, you know what I'm saying? So write this shit down or, you know, do something. Put it in your brain somewhere. The number tonight is 810-560-0658. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all call in tonight. We got a couple of topics that we're going to tap into. And then also, y'all already know, this is where gym conversation meets podcasting. So what y'all do when y'all come to the Big Flex Strong Cast Gym, y'all gonna go ahead and dap it up. And when I mean dap it up, hit that like button, share this shit on out. And if you haven't subscribed on all our platforms, please do. You know, don't be a hater. You know what I mean? Don't be a ghost watcher, a ghost viewer, a ghost hater. You know what I'm saying? At least go ahead and shit. You know what I'm saying? Do us a solid and like some shit and share it out. You know what I'm saying?
Share it out.
All right. But what about you? What about your strong end, sis?
It was full.
Was it?
It was full. Friday, I went to a birthday celebration. Happy birthday, Sylvia.
All right, happy birthday.
60, so we had a birthday dinner for her.
All right.
Then after the birthday dinner, one of my favorite cousins was like, I keep saying I'm going to come to your house to hang out. And I was like, let's just do it now. Like, it's Friday. We ain't got nothing to do in the morning. We can stop, get a bottle of wine. So went back to my place. And then our other favorite cousin hit us up like, anybody awake? Because I'm stuck. She a flight attendant. She lives in North Carolina. But she ended up getting stuck here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because the traffic in Atlanta, the weather was bad. So they had canceled all the flights to Atlanta.
I did see that. Okay.
So she hit us up like, hey, is anybody up? I need a bed to sleep in. I'm stuck here for the night. Okay. So we drove out to the airport, picked her up, had a nice little party for the night, little slumber party. Then she flew out the next day.
So that's what's up. Hey, look, shit can't happen. You know what? That'd be the best times. You know what I'm saying? When it be organically and then just unexpected. Yeah.
It was a fun time. I think we all kind of needed that moment together with everything that we've had going on in life. And then I had a baby shower for one of my god babies on Saturday, and then a birthday party for my godson's son. So it just was a full weekend, a lot of celebrating and fun times.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up.
And then packing for a trip tomorrow.
Man, look at this mother. Yeah. So what about you, Mr. Sniper? How was your strong end?
I was doing a lot of arguing this weekend.
Arguing? Oh, hell no. What the hell you mean arguing, man?
That's a weekend for sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's an energy.
On some real stuff. this weekend was a little challenging. Just with some things, just being transparent. It was just challenging from that standpoint. But outside of that, I did have a moment to kind of just sit and chill out for a minute. We had some wild weather this weekend. It was like rain and it was super hot and it was
shit still is.
Yeah, just fucking kind of crazy, muggy. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I did get a chance to. One of my favorite speakers is the author of Think and Grow Rich.
Kiyosaki.
No, that's not him. Napoleon Hill. Yeah. But
he did.
Yeah, he is. But I enjoy
his book lives on though.
Yeah. But if you've ever had the opportunity to listen to him speak, man, he's phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Very concise with his wordplay, and all that good stuff.
Okay.
My outside of that, this is cancer season, so I had a moment to kind of reflect. My mom, the woman who adopted me, her birthday is coming up in a few days, and my
birthday
father
tomorrow, and then say auntie birthday the day after. Yeah.
So and then my father's birthday, my adopted father, his birthday is the 5th. So
yeah.
It was a moment. I'm like, man, I just had a moment to kind of sit and contemplate a few things, but
okay.
It was a cool, strong end nonetheless. So.
All right, shit, tap it. Hey, look, clap that shit on up, yo. Clap it on up. Hey, look, check this out. Since we gonna wrap up, say June 30th, we are gonna go ahead and get into this. You want to get into this first topic real quick? You good? All right. So look, we're gonna go ahead and get into this first topic because I kind of want to. I seen this come across my my little timeline, and I kind of want to get y'all opinion. Really more so like to see where y'all mind would be. When you was a kid or something like that, right? On being say. Like having a superpower. So check this out. So we have a woman with a mutant gene who feels no pain and heals without scarring, discovered by scientists. All right. So her name is Miss Jo Cameron, right? 77 years old, from Loch Ness, Scotland. It's thought to be one of the few people in the world with a mutation, which is called the FAAH-OUT gene. All right. It says UCL scientists first identified Miss Cameron's mutation in 2019. She often burns herself on the oven, her arms and everything, right? But feels no pain. And she never feels, anxious or afraid. So my question would be, when you were a kid or even now, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Disappear.
She say disappear. Says shit, I'm invincible.
I used to try it all the time. Just go sit in the closet.
She said just disappear. All right. Anything else you want to elaborate? Like just
Yeah, no.
What's you just want to get away?
I wish that was my superpower now.
Right now?
I just want to disappear.
Shit. Okay.
I just disappear. Don't knock on the door.
Yeah.
No phones. No, just disappear. I don't want to do anything with the time that I'm disappeared for.
Yeah.
Like some people be like, I'm gonna go rob a bank. No, I just want to go into a quiet space.
Yeah. All right. Shit. Clap that shit up. Shit. That's your superpower. Get the fuck on.
I don't know if my mom is watching. She usually is, but she'll tell you. I used to just go sit in the closet all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Sheesh. What about you, brother?
When I was younger, I probably would have said something like, "Hey, is my mic on, bro?"
Yeah, it don't sound like it.
I can hear you.
Testing. There we go.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I probably would have said something like, "Oh, I want to read people's mind," right? But now that I'm older, reading people's mind isn't. I wouldn't consider that, or I wouldn't consider that safe. Because I just feel like thoughts come and go.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Thoughts can be fleeting, and I feel like you might have a thought that crossed your mind, but that don't necessarily mean that you're gonna act on it. That don't necessarily mean that maybe it's gonna take root within your being. So I think that's, when I was a kid, I probably would have said that, right? But now that I'm older, I'm going to say that if I had a superpower, it would be to be able to just tap into my heart's consciousness at any given moment. Because, I've since learned that our heart is a true compass in terms of leading us in a certain direction one way or another, in terms of, our little nudges in life, following our intuition. So like me being able to like tap into what's going on with me. Yeah. That's the superpower that I would want. You know what I'm saying? At any given moment.
Okay. All right. Clap that shit up. Shit, that's hell of a Mine, I had like two. One, I always wanted to fly. You know what I mean? Just naturally fly on my own. No vehicles, no nothing, just me flying, right? Almost kind of in the sense, like you said, if you just want to get away, you know what I mean? Just fly to another damn island or whatever, however, be somewhere where I want to be, wherever I want, you know what I mean? Even say teleportation.
I was going to say, what about teleporting?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Maybe to that degree. But the older I get, I really... I think my superpower, you know what I'm saying? I think what's really holding, say, humanity back, believe it or not, is the simplest, stupidest thing, you know what I mean, that I think is holding humanity back is racism. To be able to eliminate racism, right?
So you'd be like a racism superhero fighter?
Goddamn right.
I don't trust you. I do not trust this dude being no racial.
No, I mean, like, seriously, like, on some real shit.
So you're saying, like, you're a racist, let me zap your brain, and now you're not a racist no more.
There you go. You know what I mean? To where, you know what I mean? To pretty much help advance the human civilization, you know what I mean? To be able to ascend to to be able to ascend to the next dimension, or you know what I mean, to be greater than what we really are.
So teach people and be able to reach them, because is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. Like, see what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. So,
zap your brain. Like the
not
little.
Not even really zap your brain.
What's the little light that they used in Men in Black? Just look into the light, and then boom, you're not racist no more.
Cause that's some wild shit.
Yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying is really to the point of just like trying to advance, humanity with love and with, without discriminating or being racist or prejudiced to that degree where you hating people and stuff like that. That's all.
My only thing about that's a good one for sure.
Yeah.
But when you start fucking with people free will,
I know.
It can throw the balance off in this motherfucker.
So that brings up the question that I was getting ready to ask you about that, right? Is do you believe that some evils are necessary? Like there are necessary evils?
No, I believe it or not. I mean, we live in a binary system, so you have to have balance, right? So with every good, you got to have bad. With every up, down, left, right, you know what I mean? So, I understand that, the possibility of an unbalance. But however, look at this. How long have humanity have been fucked up? I mean, just look at all these wars for, you know what I'm saying, since we didn't heard about, like, from ancient times, right? So if we could just look at that and say that's just been a lot of bad time. What about, so if that's been, say, 1,000, 10,000 years, let's balance it out with 10,000 years of some good shit. How about that?
Yeah, about zapping your motherfucking ass and getting you together. I fuck with it. Yeah. This is just what I think of it. I'm like,
I know. Yeah.
Cause there's some, when I really think about it, I'm like, man,
it's for the good. Put it like this: it's for the good. And I don't know, a lot of people would say, yeah, everybody think they probably doing something for the good. Hell, a person like Bill Gates and shit that's fucking, you know what I'm saying, doing all kind of nefarious shit. You think he doing something good, but no, I'm talking about really not no nefarious shit. You know what I mean? Just to advance, say, humanity to where we need to be, and like I said, I think that one of the things that's holding humanity back, believe it or not, is the stupidest shit of being racist,
if racism didn't exist, where if it never existed, where would we be?
I think we'd be a lot more. I think we'll be a lot more advanced. You know what I'm saying? A lot more loving. You know what I mean? Than not. You know what I mean? Because racism, believe it or not, is tied into some of everything in your everyday life, right?
Everything.
You know, far as religion, far as say employment, far as relationships. You know what I'm saying, with different people and stuff like that. So. Shit, man, you know, if you trying to get a loan, you know what I mean, or anything, it's pretty much attached to damn near everything. So, and we see how, you know, humanity is now with that being our current situation. So, you know, my whole thing is let's find out.
Restore the balance.
Yeah, let's restore the balance, man. This shit been fucked up for say millions of years. Let's have a million years of the golden age of some good shit. That's all.
And would you leave it like a little dot on their head just to remind motherfuckers like you used to be? You know what I'm saying? Would your zapper leave a mark to be like
either that or hey look, or do like how say a lot of hieroglyphics are. Shit, put that shit on the wall as a reminder. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that or whatever, you know? That's wild. But just think about it like this. Even right now.
Well, I guess you don't want to leave a mark because that still creates some segregation.
Well, now listen.
Right?
So, but now listen to this. Yeah. We done had a war on drugs. We done had a war on terror, but we haven't had a war on racism. Now just think about that. Okay. Why is that? You see what I'm saying?
We all know why, but yeah, absolutely.
No, but it needs to be. If you always talking about, hey, this for the betterment of your people as a government and stuff like that or whatever, right? Now they get all kind of money to fund all these things. Oh, war on this and war on that. Fund that shit. You know what I mean? If you discriminating in a job and shit against somebody and shit based off they fucking race and shit, lock their ass the fuck up like you would do a terrorist.
We live in a country. We live in a country.
Oh, I know.
Where you can't fuck up no dog. You can't talk about homosexuals.
Yeah.
But you can't say shit about them Jews. There's one group of people that motherfuckers talk shit about all day and don't nobody say shit.
Niggas.
Motherfuckers can be nappy headed niggas.
Yeah.
All kind of craziness. And it just be like, oh, well, that person, you know, he kind of, you know, it's just brushed over. But the minute you say something about a lot of these other groups,
yeah,
man, you'll get your ass just washed. You know what I'm saying? And that, to me, that's like just following the breadcrumbs to who's in control.
Yeah.
Because if people really cared in this country about racism being eradicated, then we would have, you know, more, like as you said, more stiffer penalties and harsher consequences. Yeah. But we don't.
Yeah.
Because motherfuckers really don't give a fuck if that shit exists or not. It's used to a certain faction in this country, their advantage.
There's money to be made off this shit too, believe it or not. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's money to be made. So let's give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat that's watching. We got a Corey up in the building. We got Manuel Bland in the building. Talks with Todd in the building. Let's see, we got Freckles Monique, which is Elizabeth from Haircrack in the building. That's what I see so far. But shout out to everybody that's tapping in. You know what I'm saying with us. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, y'all. So, hey, look, let us know what y'all.
I don't want no smoke this week, Freckles. You tried to call up here, give me the business one time. I don't want no smoke.
But yeah, let us know what kind of you know, if you had a superpower. You know, what superpower would you want? You know what I mean? And just, you know, let us know why. You know what I mean? We about to go ahead and get right into this shit. Wounds versus wins. As far as in relationships, you know. I'm gonna let Brother go ahead and kick this one off.
So
it's been something on his mind.
If I got salad in my teeth, don't put that shit in the chat.
Well, you got all that green shit up in there.
But anyway, I was thinking with Strong again about how many of us identify through our wounds and not our wins, and why it's important to kind of switch from that mentality. And what I'm learning is most people do not know what they want in life because they haven't taken the time to identify it. You know, and I'll give you an example. And I heard somebody talking this weekend. It's like a man meeting a woman and asking her, say, what do you want in a relationship? And she answers this in what I would like to call a negative way, saying, well, I don't want a man who can't be found. I don't want a man who not doing this and not doing that. And it's like, wait a minute, you identify all the things you don't want, but you haven't told me what you do want. So bringing that back over into the wounds versus wins, I feel like if we were to sit down and have a moment with ourselves, just do some self-evaluation, and really ask ourselves, what wins do I need to celebrate? What wins have I let slip past me in my lifetime that I never even acknowledged? Because here's the deal. Sometimes, other motherfuckers not going to celebrate you. Other people not going to see change when it's within you. People not going to recognize that right away. People can't, they can't acknowledge something that they don't see in themselves sometimes. But I say that to say that I think it is important to acknowledge our wins. And what does that look like? Sometimes a win could simply be, you know what? I just got around this family member who always agitates the fuck out of me, and I want to choke the shit out of them because they're disrespectful and they don't respect me, You
say, clap it up for choking the shit out of somebody, a family member.
But here's a win, though. A win could be, but I'm going to honor myself and I'm going to honor the rest of my family that's here today by making sure that I hold myself accountable, to my actions. I make sure that I stay grounded. I don't breathe any life or fan the flame of fuckery. Fan the flame of fuckery. All right.
Clap
and
back.
I think that's important. And what I'm saying is, it's every now and then it's important for us to, not every now and then, we need to do it more often. Fuck that. We need to spend a little bit more time evaluating what our wins look like. Because here's the deal. Sometimes we get so focused on all the wounds, the wins just go right by and they never get acknowledged. And in the mind, the subconscious, and our memory, it's always keeping record of that, keeping track of that. We need to put some of that within our system so that we can remind ourselves every now and then, hey, you know what? That wasn't so bad that time. Because the more wins that we have, now we can start to build momentum. And when we build momentum, we start to get better at these things, gain more confidence, more strength when it come down for us to handle these things. So wounds versus wins. I think we all can identify some wounds. But when's the last time you identify a win in your relationship, whether it be with your partner, whether it be with a family member, whether it be with a business associate? That shit matter. You understand what I'm saying? What you think about that?
I have a shot for a question. For you.
Go ahead, get it out. Don't fumble this shit, but get it out.
So that was good. So I'm like, you asked me a question. I want to answer the question. I want to ask you the question first. I'm gonna ask you the question first. Do you think that it's been very good for us to come into this space as a community where we're advocating for mental health and counseling and therapy and all of the things more, right? But what happens when you get into counseling is that they bring up your wounds. And so I think that what has happened, just in general with just the natural settling into, it's easier to talk about the negative than it is to talk about the positives and relax into that. Do you think that we talk about addressing the wounds so much that we now don't have a balance with acknowledging that you can address it without coming out of that space? Like, is that one of those gifts and curses?
Let me say this. I think what it is we become, or we have this habit of not celebrating a lot of our wins because, believe it or not, a lot of people, whatever, that you think that would be happy for you as far as your wins, when you speaking about your wins feels a certain kind of way towards you, like, you know, maybe jealous or, you know what I'm saying, or envious or, you know what I mean? So a lot of times and stuff, you kind of like dim your light, far as, you know, you kind of like want to hold your wins in and don't want to tell people, because you already know most people don't really, you know, some people want to hear it because, you know, the true friends and stuff like that care about you. They don't mind, because most of the time they're gonna be there to help celebrate them wins with you when you when you're in action. But yeah, welcome to the GAMG, the Big Flex Strongcast. Who we have on the line?
Freckles.
You say who?
Freckles.
Oh, what up, though? What up, though?
Oh Lord, please.
It's kind of low. Yeah, I was about to say you gotta turn that up.
Please, Jesus,
yeah,
please.
There we go. How you doing?
I'm alright.
All right. What you got?
I love this topic because it's a topic that I try to get a lot of people to understand. With this, is in a relationship, a lot of people fail to heal. So then you get with someone and they pay for your past. So of course when you get with someone and they like, and you ask them what they want, they can tell you what they don't want, because they stuck in their past and they making you pay for it. So it's easy to tell you, oh, I want this, and that. But I always tell people, when you get them kind of people, just get up and leave the table, because that's not what you want. Because I always tell people, healed people find healed people. Broken people find broken people. Damaged people find damaged people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I always tell
That's
people
beautiful.
my favorite thing, misery loves company until they're no longer miserable. And then they'll leave you. And now you're stuck in misery because you was with Team Misery. And now that person has moved on and elevated, but you're still stuck in misery.
Yeah.
And that's how that bitterness comes. And I always tell people, and I tell my kids this, I love me more than I love you. And if you think that that's messed up, then that's you crazy.
Yeah.
You know, because
Say that
if I
again.
don't know how, if I love you more than I love me, then I'm failing.
Yeah.
Because I started with me.
Yeah.
I started with me before I became you. And if I can't love me correctly, and I don't know how to love me correctly, I will never love you correctly. And that's why a lot of people relationships fail, because, and I hate when I hear someone say, I love you more than I love myself. Baby, run.
Nah, yeah, that's danger right there.
not
That's
okay.
a red flag right there. Like,
Yes, because for one, either it's a dangerous situation or it's a toxic situation.
yeah.
Well,
You know, because it can go dangerous. They can kill
Real
you.
quick.
Or that person can love you so much that they kill themselves.
Yeah.
no, that's
You know what I'm saying? Because
that's
it's,
beautiful.
oh, I can't live without you. I can't be without you. And then you got the ones that will threaten you and hold you and act like they're going to kill themselves. You got the ones that threaten suicide.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that's
emotional.
abuse.
That's emotional manipulation, and that's emotional blackmail.
Yeah, just as well as I always tell people, we forget about the financial abuse, and so many women is in financial abuse because so many women is stuck in the seat. Well, you got it. Why should I do it? And men to come along and move in and watch you do it alone because they are used to you. They see you got it. That's called financial abuse. Oh, if you need me, ask me. Why? Why should I need you? When you come in here, you flick on a light too, don't you? You turn on water. You open the refrigerator. So why should I have to, why are you hiding behind these words? Because you know my pride not going to let me ask you.
Yeah. And I said that was a beautiful thing I was referring to. That's a beautiful thing that you even able to acknowledge something like that when you made the statement. They always often ask people, or they tell you this when you get on the plane. They say, look, if this motherfucker start to go down, put your mask on
Get your shit together
first.
Yeah, get your shit
All right?
together first.
And I just wanted to kind of speak to that because I think a few weeks ago when you and I were talking, that mentality can kind of work both ways, but you see, it rears its ugly head sometime in a few different places. And one of the places that I identified it with is oftentimes men being taught that they have to put everybody
first
before them.
Yep.
And to me, when you are a young man, learning that philosophy, it can really put you behind and traumatize you because what'll happen is you find yourself searching for the validation of everybody else based on your performance. You understand what I'm saying?
But what's crazy is, everyone knows I was raised by my dad. 100% by my dad. I met my birth mom when I was like 10, 11. But that's what I learned that concept from my dad. My dad was always big on, I'm gonna love me and I'm gonna take care of me first.
Yeah.
You love
and when I was growing up, I used to be like, oh, he crazy. My daddy.
It sounded like he was being selfish.
Yeah.
It sounds like it, but it's like, in order to love everybody else, you gotta love yourself.
I gotta water me. And I said, I told him, I said, Daddy,
Yeah.
you know, that's so mean and selfish. And he said, no, it's not. He said, because if I don't water me, I'm gonna die, and then how you gonna survive?
There you go.
Not only that, learning the concept of you give from your cup when it overflows.
Yeah,
When you
you catch the
constantly just
overflow.
giving and giving and giving and giving, and you're not pouring back into yourself, or anyone else around you is pouring into, you look up one day and you have nothing else to give. And those people, from what my experience in life, they can be very bitter and or resentful for everybody that's around them. Because they'll feel like, yo, can't you see? I've given so much to everybody else. Nobody gives to me. And it's just like, there's nothing wrong with teaching someone the concept. Stop. Give to yourself
I always
first.
tell people, I don't pour into no one. I never have and I never will. You'll catch my overflow. But I'm not going to pour into you. The way I love myself, you're going to love my overflow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting
and
concept. I like that.
that's what people be like, oh, every man is not taught to put their kids and their women and their family first. Because my dad was not taught that.
Yeah.
So every man is not taught that. You know, I think that some men are taught that, you know. Just like my son, you know, he was all like, you know, he just had a baby. Oh, I don't want her to work. And I said, why? I said, it's okay to not do it alone.
Yeah. Well, I have a question for you, cuz that concept. Which side of that are you on?
Well,
did somebody teach you one or the other?
Well, I was just gonna ask y'all. Can y'all tell me when was y'all last win? That's what I was about to ask.
My last win this morning when I woke up.
Okay, there we go. As simple as that. There you go.
Every day I wake up, I'm winning.
There you go.
Because I have another chance. What I did was yesterday, that was the past.
Gratitude.
You get a fresh start every day.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. You can look at every day you wake up, you can look at like, oh my God, yesterday was so bad. Or you can just wake up and not even think about yesterday because yesterday didn't matter.
Yeah.
If you keep looking back, you're going to trip over your future.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get up and you're going to say, I missed my chance. Yes, because you tripped over it.
Yeah.
By the time you got up and wiped yourself off, life passed you by.
Yeah. All right.
Because life don't wait for no one. It goes so fast.
No, absolutely.
But it goes so slow.
Absolutely. All right.
I heard something kind of similar to that, but I love the way recently I just heard that, and it was phrased like this. Many people in life wait for things to be perfect, but God, the universe or source, whatever you want to call it, God doesn't wait for the perfect. He waits for the ready.
Listen.
And when you ready,
God is
that's when you gonna move. But if you're waiting for every part of your life and your situation to be perfect, you will never fucking move.
I just said, hey, look, I just said the same thing yesterday. God is the best plan. Yeah. There you go. God is the ultimate planner.
Yeah.
You can have plans all day.
Nothing with God in it unless. I remember one time I had something happen to me real bad and I was crying and the lady told me, she said, oh honey, nothing, God not gonna put you through nothing you can't handle. And in that very moment I realized that she was feeding me a crock of bullshit. And I looked at her and I said, you a lie. And she asked me why. I said, because when I was doing it, God wasn't with me. I didn't bring him with me for the ride. So how I'm gonna say he put me through it when I didn't even bring him for the ride? He wasn't with me when I was doing it. My heart was, I wasn't, oh yeah, it's it. No. Now, I always put God in it. I make sure, I ask him, you sure I should be doing this? I need fireworks, because sometimes even a little boom don't work for me.
Yeah, all right.
You know, but I don't never put God, I can't say God put me through something that I know dang on well God did not steer me through.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me to go left, I went left.
Yeah.
That's interesting because the way she just described that, I had to listen. But
no, me too.
What you were basically saying was, when it comes down to taking some accountability, sometimes motherfuckers be giving God unnecessary credit for fuckery.
Right.
Yep.
And it's just like, wait a minute, you put yourself in that shit. Don't put that shit on me.
Yeah.
And that's what we were just talking about with Quentin's Magic Zapper. You know what I'm saying?
Kids, and it falls into being a parent because I've had instances where my kids would be like, "What, mama, you did?" And it's like, no, nigga, you did it. I told you not to do it, and you got mad. Like for instance, my son has a tattoo on the side of his face, and it's a bird. And that's his nickname, Robin. And to this day now, and I always just tell them, don't you get your face tattooed. Your face belongs to me until I die. Then you go do what you want to do. So he was so mad at me, and he went and got a face tattoo. Every day he look at that tattoo, he's so mad. And he like, and he tried to blame it on me. I said, no, you can't blame that on me.
Okay.
You did that. Now you got to look at it.
Yeah, you got to look at it every day. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Thanks for calling in. We appreciate that.
Great call. Great call. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it too. She didn't give me no business today. She was nice.
Right. See, Don, I ain't
Thank you for that. That's a win for me. I'm celebrating.
All right. Thanks a lot. But
all right. Yep.
Okay. Now, what you were saying? You had a question for me, cuz you said that you wanted to.
Like what?
You said you wanted.
What were you taught? Were you taught? Coming up, you know, being a man was taking care, you know what I'm saying, those around you, and
absolutely,
and that was the
protection.
What was you taught?
More so like
when you were growing up, was it kind of like instilled in you to put everybody kind of before you, and that was the hallmark of being a man?
Absolutely.
No.
Okay, what were you taught?
Always look out for yourself first.
Okay.
Because my mother was one of those people who been in the streets before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she knew what was to come.
Gotcha.
So if you hear a gunshot, you make sure you duck first,
Mm-hmm.
and then look and see what's going around.
Mm-hmm.
If you see 4 guys walking your way, and you with 2 guys,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you be more prepared and let your
So.
And look, I'm gonna answer the question too, since I just asked both of y'all that.
So
I was taught what you said.
It was that, and more so like cover your own ass.
There we go.
That was
but that was the second kind of part of it. To me, it was more like being a man is being selfless in this way where, you know, you're a man when you're able to take care of and provide for everybody else. And I think somewhere along the line, there are many men out there that, and again, Miles, you just said no, it's the opposite. But I'm speaking to the men that have been, that, you know, pertains to the way I was taught. Somewhere,
I was the only child too. So.
There you go. Somewhere along the line, you get to putting others first so much, you damn near feel guilty when you don't put others first.
Yeah.
And
or you might feel guilty and shit when you start putting yourself first.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And here's another thing. What I realized about me was being gay. I learned when I got older that one of the greatest things that a man can provide to his family is provide them with emotional stability. Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense now. But here's where I struggled. Providing somebody with emotional stability and putting up with somebody's bullshit who refuse to grow and become self-aware of their own fuck shit is 2 different things.
Yeah.
And there was a time in my life where my manhood was quote unquote validated in my thought process of I'm a man when I can handle and deal with it with your bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I'm a man and I can handle that. But it came a time where it was just like, wait a minute. I don't need to do that shit anymore. Well, what the fuck do I got to prove? If you can't get your shit together in a way that it comes from the inside out, not from me just constantly dealing with it, managing it, coping with it. No, fuck all of that. Yeah. Because after a while, that's abuse to me.
Yeah.
And and here's the deal. Once I took responsibility for that, then I had to make a choice. Do I allow this person to continue to abuse me, or do I set some standards and boundaries to say, hey, I'm not dealing with that shit. You're going to have to get your shit together. If not, I don't need to be around you. Fuck from around me.
But then that goes back onto like this. Like, how many times or have anybody been in your life to tell you like the way that, you know, pretty much on how to teach somebody how to be with you or love you or be in a relationship with you. You know what I mean? Nobody really have.
Zilch.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
Zilch.
But that's what you really have to learn is you have to teach people on how to love you, how you want to be loved and stuff like that or whatever. You know what I mean?
And again, and not from the process of this, I can identify what I want by identifying what I don't want, because oftentimes when people say that, you know, again, it's a big difference when somebody, when I hear a older woman say, "Oh, don't let no man fuck over you," versus, "Baby girl, you need to find you a man that communicates with you properly, and you need to make sure you communicating with him properly."
Well, it's almost like always stating the problem without having proper solutions.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And
So
they're not the same thing.
No,
Some people will think.
exactly.
Listen, one day somebody asked me a question, and I was sitting there looking at them like, well, they're like, what's the difference between an anti-war rally and a peace rally, right? So I'm like, they both the same thing. And a person is like, no, listen to me. In a peace rally, and they were saying this just to kind of point something out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Peace is about understanding that you have two different sides, and they're not fighting against one another. So they're not gonna put up a fight. When you anti-war is when you got people kind of in each other's face shouting, "Hey, we don't need to do this. No, fuck that. We need to protect ourselves." They sound the same, but they're not in terms of how they're going to be manifested. You know what I'm saying? So when you look, and I realize that in my relationships, sometimes we think that, you know, we are teaching people how to treat us in a way that's healthy, but really is really unhealthy. Telling somebody, yo, you know, when I'm upset, leave me the fuck alone, and going off and withdrawn without actually having a conversation. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I need a moment. I'm overstimulated, or, you know, I can't find the words to say, or right now I'm really, really upset with you. So just, can you give me a moment? That's different than, don't fucking talk to me. I hate your motherfucking ass right now. You should know better. See, that's saying all the things you don't want in the moment, as opposed to the things that you do want. Because here's the thing. When we learn how to communicate in that way, I call this the learning how to love people through pain, through hardship. It's one thing when I can look at you and I say, "Hey, you know what, man? I don't really appreciate what you just did, but I need a moment, and we need to discuss this further." Versus always just turning the fuck up and acting a fool. And I think many of us, we use that as a means of protection and survival.
But really, it's a lack of maturity. You know what I'm saying? To that degree, you know what I mean? A lot of people,
exactly what the fuck.
So
it
that
is.
kind of goes back on what I always say about, you know, being an elder versus being an old nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, an old nigga ain't nothing but a immature ass older person. You understand what I'm saying? And an elder
like
is somebody that's mature and can handle themselves in those situations.
They have the capacity to speak.
And the compassion and stuff like that.
Yes.
There you go. You know what I mean? So, hey, go ahead. My bad. I just wanted to go ahead and interject on that. What you got something to say, sis?
Yeah,
I know you. She's
so
like,
there was two questions asked, right? So your original question was what?
I was asking the fellas, like, how were we taught in terms of you know, putting others.
And then your question was, when was the win? Right?
Yeah, what was the last
win?
What was your last win? You know,
I can answer both of those in one. So I was actually taught to put everybody else first.
Yeah.
I often say.
Do you know from who?
Who taught me that? Yes.
Gotcha.
Both sides of my family are that way, but in different ways, right? So my mother's side of the family are all like nurturers, right? Like everybody loved kids and babies, and anybody's babies can go to anybody's house at any time. So that side of the family was more like nurturing and taking care of the kids and everybody else, right? On my father's side of the family, it was more like nurturing and taking care of the men, right? So I'm going to bring this all together, but to kind of give you an example, my dad wasn't married. So when we had holiday events or on any given day, I had to fix my dad's plate. When I got married, I had to fix my husband's plate first and then fix my dad's plate. So I asked my auntie, like, what about my kids? You know what I mean? Like, who is feeding the kids? And she was like, one of the teenage cousins can help your kids make their plates.
But you need to take care of the men first.
You go take care of the men. Mm-hmm. So I got it from both sides, but in different ways.
Mm-hmm. And that's not always a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it needs some balance.
It's not, but it does need some balance. And let me tell you how that comes to today and draws into my wins, right? So it was kind of a build up to my win, but it kind of surfaced and became a win today. So last week I had a couple of things happen and I was like almost in tears because I felt like I was letting somebody down. I had disappointed somebody. Like I wasn't showing up the way I would normally show up. Okay. And I felt so bad about it. And I was like, dang, like, I'm so sorry. I should have been more aware. I should have been known. And the person was like, you don't have time for yourself. Yeah. You barely eat when you're at work. You can't take a proper break. You're exhausted. You're working long days. I can't expect you to show up for me if you're not showing up for yourself. And that hit me hard. Yeah. That it hit like, and the harder part was realizing today that it took me a couple of days to compute. You gotta take care of yourself first. Fuck yeah. You feeling so bad about not showing up for other people and not being attentive and missing something, but you not missing the fact that you not sleeping right. Mm-hmm. Your energy is off. Your focus is off. You're not eating the way that you should. Yeah. Like all of these things. So my win was recognizing like you have to go back, because I did have a space where I was being intentional about those things, right? Yeah. So my win today was just recognizing like you have slipped into this unhealthy space of I'm fine. Let me just give. Push. Do. And then realizing like I'm not even doing that to my full capacity because I'm not taking care of myself.
I love that. And I like what you just said. Yeah. Because most of the time, again, right? And this kind of, we need to discuss this later, but in our community sometimes we don't acknowledge the wins when they're not super big. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's right there is a trauma response. Do you should be able to fucking celebrate the small ones and the big ones. I don't give a fuck how insignificant it may feel.
Now, do you think that, in our community that we lack a lot of gratitude? Just in general, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because, we spend a lot of time speaking about, say, trauma and, you know what I'm saying, being in a lot of victimhood and trauma bonding and shit like that, know.
Bro, don't even get me started about this gratitude shit. Because let me tell you something, right? I see right now there are a lot of parents out there that are indirectly and directly teaching their children not to fucking be grateful for not only them, but other people in their life, family members, coaches, all kind of shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nobody's fucking obligated to, take you under their wing and really make sure that you're successful in your fucking life. And just speaking about that, and I said this before, I'll say it again. Hope I can. When I was in school, shout out to Coach Ballard. I went to Cooley. Coach Ballard was our track coach.
Just call him Garfunkel.
And that dude had so much influence on my life. And for about, let's say within a year, I'm like, or a year's time, I found myself saying, man, I wish I could go over to Coach Ballard's house and just tell him I appreciate you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I look online one day and he had passed. Yeah. And I was hurt by that. Cause I'm like, I wish I had the opportunity to tell that man while he was on this earth, like, yo, I appreciate you. Yeah. So I definitely think we got to work better at that.
Okay. You know what? I got to give a shout out to Al Stewart. You know what I mean? I don't know if you remember Al that used to come pick us up on Birdwood and stuff like that. We used to go to camps and all that kind of stuff. So, but he was another one. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, that I think if he would have seen me now, from the things that I've accomplished and stuff like that, and from where he knew me as a kid to now, he'd definitely be proud. You know what I mean? Because he's seen me going in a nice wrong direction, I would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And definitely he did have a lot of positive influence, you know what I'm saying, in our lives and stuff like that, going to camps and basketball
and men
camps
need to hear that
like
shit.
That. Yeah.
Because a lot of, and again, I can't, again, this is nothing about the women.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that in my lifetime, I don't care what it is, just a lot of men they not appreciated.
No,
and
I agree with you on
that's
that.
all. You know, you see it with the
agree with you on
holidays,
that.
with everything.
Yeah.
You don't see it being celebrated, or even other parents teaching children
to be
grateful, yeah,
for their uncle or their
something, yeah,
or they
the neighbor that picked your ass up and was like, yo, come work with me.
Yeah.
The motherfucker that showed you a skill that you didn't have.
There you go.
The dude that stepped outside and protected you when some motherfucker was about to stomp on your ass. All of that shit need to be celebrated, acknowledged. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I see it now. Man, I can't think how many times I done went to the gas station and I seen a dude open up a door. Chick just walk right out. Hold head, don't say shit.
Yeah.
It'd be like, wait a minute, we taking shit.
And then
for
be
granted
mad.
now?
And then be mad as soon as they like YN be like, well, fuck you then, bitch.
Cause them YNs would Yikes.
Yeah. Anything you want to add, say, on our way on out the doses? You know what I'm saying, as far as wounds versus wins?
No, I think that was a great show. We could definitely put a pin in that gratitude topic.
Gratitude,
Follow
you know
up
what I'm
with
saying?
that.
Yeah. Much gratitude. What about you?
Celebrate your wins, big, small. Don't judge them. You know what I'm saying? I think many of us, we oftentimes don't even. And speaking of this, Coach Ballard one day said this to me. Coach Ballard was sometimes he get to tell you some stories, and he told one in particular one day. It was some guys in our on the track team doing some shit they ain't had no business, and Coach Ballard was talking about, hey, in life sometimes you got to tough it out and do what you need to do. So he got to talking about, some dudes saying, hey, listen, if you get the opportunity to take your ass to college, I don't give a fuck if you ain't got no clothes, no nothing. He said, you better take your ass to that dorm room, and I don't care if you wear the same drawers there, that you gonna wash them motherfuckers out and hang dry them and wear them damp the next fucking day. This is how Coach would talk, right?
All right.
So one day, again, it was a dude doing some knucklehead shit, and Coach used to tell us, yo, when I come in here, I want everybody working on their homework before we start practice. Coach comes in class, and a dude goofing around, he don't even have a pen, but he faking like he got a pen in his hand. And Coach walked past, and he come back, he said, hey son, wait, what you doing? He said, where your pencil at? And he was like, oh, Coach, it's in my locker. Coach Ballard was like, really? He said, let's go out to your locker then. You better have a fucking pencil in that locker, or I'm gonna shake the shit out of your ass. Teachers don't be teaching like this no more.
They can't do that no more.
So his locker is right outside the room that we in. So Buddy come back. We hear the commotion outside. I can't make this shit up. He like, Coach, like, where your pencil at? You been in school all damn day. You ain't had no pencil. So when Buddy walked back in class, he looking at all of us. Coach behind, and Coach was tall. Coach was like 6'4", 6'5". Coach walking behind him, and Buddy looking like this in front of him. He smiling and shit, man. Coach walking behind him. He couldn't take it them weak. He got behind Coach got behind him. He shook him, right? So Coach is giving us this speech on appreciate the little things. Don't take nothing for granted. And anyway, he got to the end of this long talk one day because he was pissed. And he said, damn it. He said, if you was in the desert walking one day and the sun was beating on your ass, and he said, and you found a toothpick, he said, what would you do with it? And everybody got quiet. He said, damn it, you better pick that motherfucker up and put it over your head for shade. Now listen to me. It took me a long, listen to me. That might go over a lot of your fucking head, but
you
I
appreciate
realize
every little bit when the sun is being
in our community, sometimes a motherfucker would say, fuck making $1 every single day. If I ain't making $50, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to make no money at all. And it's just like, wait a minute. We got to get rid of that mentality. Yeah. So again, going back to this, celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge the small victories. It don't matter how insignificant they fucking seem. Yeah. Acknowledge that shit, because that shit leads, because you might find that one toothpick and walk a little further and find another one, and now you got two.
Now you got
go.
And now you're going to get that momentum. You know what I'm saying? But I love Coach for that shit. I almost choked up the fucking night. Every time I think of that man, I'm like, that's how much he meant to me. And I definitely wish I had the opportunity, I definitely wish I had taken the opportunity to let him know how much I appreciate him. And it's a lot of men out there that do things for their families, their community, and they don't always get their flowers. So shout out to you guys.
All right, y'all. Hey, look, on that note, y'all, celebrate y'all wins and flex on out, because we out of here until next week, y'all. Peace.
Yeah. Big flex on the set, you know we gotta rep. Heavy talk on that mic, all we do is press. John Q, that's Coach, got him upset. Jim Animal, Muscle Gang, we up next. Big Flex Podcast live on Monday night with John Q, Latoya Deshaun, and Don Snipes. You can catch Snipes on the pod or the big screen, or get tea time with Toya if you want the tea. Talk about the strong end on your weekday. Tap in with Muscle Gang, you never have a weekday. Big Flex Podcast, 9 p.m. Monday. Pull us up on YouTube if you want that replay. Big Flex Podcast, 9 p.m. Monday. Pull us up on YouTube if you want that replay. It's the Big Flex Podcast, Mondays, 9 at night. It's the Big Flex Podcast.